It's midnight and you are tuning into Nightline with me, Zahir Kelvinong Abdullah. The top stories: fatal Pago house fire, police reclassify case as triple murder. And over 100 killed in Israeli airstrike on Gaza school. More than 100 Palestinians have been killed and dozens wounded on Saturday after an Israeli strike hit a school sheltering displaced people in Gaza City. The strikes reportedly hit when people sheltering at the school were performing dawn prayers, triggering a fire that ripped through the building. According to Gaza's civil defense agency, the Al-Tabain school in Gaza City had been housing 6,000 displaced Palestinians before it was struck. Women, children and the elderly are reported to be among the dead, and the toll was expected to rise. It is understood that some of the bodies were still on fire when they were found. The head of Gaza's government media office said the Zionist regime used 3 bombs weighing 907 kilograms each in its attack, and it was aware of the presence of people inside the school. Police have reclassified the case involving 3 members of a family who died in a fire at Kampong Paya Redan in Pago recently as murder. According to District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Rais Mukhlis Azman Aziz, this follows the post-mortem reports on all 3 victims, which found elements of foul play. Police have opened investigation papers on the case, which was previously classified as sudden death under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder, as well as Section 436 and Section 326 of the same Act for mischief by fire or explosive substance with intent to destroy a house, and for voluntarily causing grievous hurt using a weapon. ACP Rais Mukhlis said police are tracking down the main suspect, identified as 48-year-old Azman Muhammed. The main suspect, the son of 82-year-old Muhammad Yassin and his wife, 76-year-old Ara Abdul Hamid, who were among the 3 people who died during the incident. The other person who died in the fire, which destroyed 85% of the house, was identified as 11-year-old Driana Nor Hashim. Meanwhile, another grandchild of the elderly couple, 14-year-old Norazima Muhammad Radi, sustained injuries and is being treated at the Sultanah Fatimah Specialist Hospital. It is understood that Azman, who is also the uncle of the 2 siblings, is an unmarried man and was said to be living with the victims. Meanwhile, the father of the late Driana Nor Hashim said his heart broke as he collected his child's remains from the forensic unit at the Sultanah Fatimah Specialist Hospital, finding his child's face shattered and bearing injuries from a blunt object. 43-year-old Nor Hashim Tahir described his child's face as being severely damaged, but said he was unsure of the cause.
Yang saya boleh cakap, keadaan anak saya, muka dia hancur lah, pasal bekas ketukan. Itu je kita tak tahu. Kita tak tahu apa puncanya. Itu je lah. Dia pasal kebakaran tu tak berapa teruk sangat. Aku kata doktor lah yang buatkan dia meninggal pasal apa? Ketukan benda tumpul yang kuat kat kepala.
The victim's father was speaking to reporters after her burial at the Kampong Paya Redan Islamic Cemetery in Pago on Saturday. She was laid to rest next to the grave of her mother, Nurul Arzmiza Muhammad Noor, who died 4 years ago due to cancer. Police have identified a male suspect believed to be a local who attacked 2 women with a knife in the toilet of Surau Al-Ihsaniyah Ahmadiyah in Kelana Jaya on Friday. Petaling Jaya District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Sharul Nizam Jafar said police are now actively conducting operations to trace the whereabouts of the suspect. It was reported that police have also obtained CCTV footage from a nearby house which recorded the suspect's car leaving the surau after the incident. In the incident at 1:30 p.m. on Friday, the suspect attacked a 26-year-old female salesperson and a 52-year-old headmistress in the surau area in Kelana Jaya armed with a Rambo knife. The headmistress was slashed with a knife as she was helping the other woman who was in physical altercation with the suspect. Based on the preliminary investigation, the two victims did not know the suspect involved. The school principal has come forward to assist police in the investigations after being discharged from the hospital, while the other victim is still receiving treatment at Shah Alam Hospital. So far, police have recorded statements from 7 people to assist in the investigations. Commenting on the incident, Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq said the ministry has instructed schools to tighten security on their premises. This is to ensure that all staff, including students and teachers, are not exposed to any threats, especially from individuals entering the area from outside the school.
Sekolah kita mesti selamat. Sebab itu komitmen kita cukup tinggi dalam konteks menyediakan kawalan keselamatan di sekolah. Jadi sebab itu saya fikir peningkatan terhadap kawalan keselamatan pengawal juga pentadbir sekolah harus mempertingkatkanlah dalam soal keselamatan ini.
Fadlina was speaking after officiating the National Madani Scout Jamboree in Kuala Nerus, Terengganu. The minister emphasized that enhancing security measures is crucial in order to prevent similar incidents from recurring. She said the ministry has handed over the investigation to the authorities and further developments will be announced from time to time. The ministry is also closely monitoring the case and the public have been urged to allow space for the ongoing investigation to be carried out. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, will summon 11 more witnesses to give their statements regarding the misappropriation of funds amounting to 1.5 million ringgit from a public-listed company. The funds in question are related to a construction and mining project valued at approximately 80 million ringgit. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki, when contacted, said so far only 3 individuals have been arrested in connection with the case, including senior company officers and the Group Chief Executive Officer.
Siasatan baru bermula, kita setakat ni memanggil 11 saksi. Dijangka kita akan memanggil lagi dalam masa terdekat ni dalam lebih kurang 11 saksi lagi yang terdiri daripada pihak-pihak yang terlibat dalam melibatkan projek yang mana antara pihak syarikat ini dengan pihak satu lagi lah, ada 2 projek yang terlibat dan kita sedang melihat kepada kesalahan rasuah, salah guna kuasa dan juga pesyak amanah.
Last Thursday, 2 male suspects and 1 female suspect aged between 40 and 50 years old were remanded in relation to misappropriation involving a construction and mining project. Initial investigations also revealed that all 3 are believed to be involved in setting up a company that was not approved by the board of directors for the purpose of carrying out a cooperative project valued at approximately 258 million ringgit. Additionally, they are also suspected of misappropriating funds from the rental income of the company's property amounting to approximately 3 million ringgit. Higher education institution students who allow their bank accounts to be used by fraud syndicates may face legal action. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said such action can be taken under the recently amended Section 424 of the Penal Code, which targets account holders who knowingly allow their accounts and payment instruments to be used by syndicates.
Kadang-kadang ada kes yang kami siasat melibatkan pelajar universiti yang membenarkan akaun mereka dan instrumen pembayaran mereka, kad, digunakan oleh sindiket penipuan. Jadi ini sekarang ni dengan pindaan akta kanun kesiasaan di bawah perkara 424 itu membolehkan tindakan diambil ke atas orang yang membenarkan akaun dan instrumen keuangan miliknya diguna pakai oleh sindiket.
Saifuddin was speaking to reporters after officiating the Home Ministry's meet and greet session in Kampong Gua Lobak, Padang Serai on Saturday. The minister also noted a worrying increase in online fraud cases based on complaints received. In response, he said the ministry will intensify awareness campaigns to educate the public and help them avoid falling victim to scams. All ministries are collecting performance data and achievements in line with the Madani Economic Framework that was launched in July last year. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim is expected to present the report at the closing ceremony of the Southern Zone Madani Rakyat Programme on August 17. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil noted that it has been a year since the Madani Economy Framework was launched, along with several policies such as the National Energy Transformation Roadmap and Progressive Wage Policy.
Hasil daripada lebih kurang setahun ni, insya-Allah kita serah kepada Yang Berhormat Perdana Menteri untuk bentangkan nanti untuk maklumkan kepada semua. Cuma sebagai rakyat biasa sudah pasti kita mampu lihat usaha selama setahun ini telah membuahkan hasil.
Fahmi said this after officiating the launching of the Jalo Gemilang 2024 Adventure Convoy at the Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya Federal Territories level on Saturday. According to Fahmi, investment has increased compared to last year, and the report on the number of companies listed in Malaysia for the first half of this year is much higher compared to some Southeast Asian countries. He also noted that inflation remains low, while the value of the ringgit has strengthened. On July 27 last year, the Prime Minister launched Madani Economy Framework to raise the status and dignity of the country. It is also to restructure the economy towards making Malaysia an economic leader in the Southeast Asian region, thus providing an abundance of income for the people to enjoy a better quality of life. Knowledge and educational certificates are essential in order to ensure a financially secure future. However, an increasing number of youths are now questioning whether formal education is as valuable as it once was in today's changing job market. With the rise of social media-related jobs, many young people are becoming increasingly interested in such roles, often opting for them over traditional 9-to-5 jobs. Muhammad Nadir Asfa Mazlan reports.
According to the president of the Malaysian Industrial, Commercial and Service Employers Association, MIXIA, YK Lai, academic qualifications hold significance as they can help individuals enter their preferred industry.
I would say you need still, in my opinion, to have a degree because that is your ticket or your entry to an industry that you would love to embark later on. You need to have this knowledge in order for you to have an early start of your career.
He also noted that people without a formal higher education can still excel in their careers by leveraging specific skills and having a strong work ethic. This matter gained public interest recently following comments made by a social media influencer who challenged the value of academic qualifications in today's society. His comments have since gone viral, prompting various reactions from online users.
The gig economy actually has leveled up the playing field, whereby you may not even need a degree to be successful. And I believe there are also a lot of successful entrepreneurs who may not have papers on hand. But to compensate the lack of having a degree, right, they actually work very hard to begin with. But I also do look out for candidates who may not have the opportunity to study as high as they can, up to university level, but as long as they are willing to invest their time in other learning modes, shorter courses, attending 3 days or 2 days course, we know that he is constantly upgrading himself. And also, in order to be adaptable to the new working environment, he is doing that.
Meanwhile, content creator Sedi Ang argues that degrees are valuable for content creators and reveals the reality of the profession.
You can be a content creator, you can be like me, you can be like so many other content creators out there. But if one day there happens to be a time when I'm no longer, influencer marketing is no longer a trend, they don't like content creator anymore with the rise of AI and whatnot, take our job and all, I have a degree to fall back to. You don't see the things that we don't show you. Contoh, the example, there will be situations where days when we don't have jobs and we are still waiting for clients to pay us. Yeah, if I want to be real with you, a lot of time it's just us playing waiting game.
While it is true a degree is not the only path to success, it can indeed open doors to better employment opportunities and higher earning potential. However, combining knowledge with the relevant skills is crucial for job seekers to stand out in today's competitive job market. Muhammad Nadir Asfar, Nightline, TV3.
Removal of bodies begins from Brazil plane crash. This and more from the foreign front after this breather.
Situasi semakin tegang.
Pembunuhan ketiga-tiga wanita ini dilakukan oleh pembunuh yang sama, Tuan.
Medan operasi unit gerak khas kini berhadapan dengan cabaran tidak terduga.
Maaf, Tuan. Keputusan saya muktamad. Saya dah tak mampu dan nak bagi perkhidmatan terbaik pada pasukan. Saya tahu ini bukan satu tugas yang mudah, Tuan.
Gerak khas The Finale setiap Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Pencalonan baru Muzik 39 minggu ini.
Pulangkan cintaku kepadamu. Ku mohon padanya.
Siapakah yang bakal menjadi carta top 20 Muzik 39 minggu ini? Semuanya dalam Muzik 39 Ahad ini jam 12.20 tengah hari di TV3 dan stream secara langsung di aplikasi Tonton.
Wanita hebat cetus inspirasi, cipta kejayaan dengan usaha sendiri.
Orang hitam ni adalah satu objek di angkasa lepas yang mempunyai graviti yang sangat-sangat kuat. Diibaratkan sebenarnya galaksi itu kalau dalam skala kita sekarang ni dia ada belakang rumah kita je.
Fokus utama sukan water rafting ni adalah untuk nikmati keindahan alam semula jadi.
Masa kecil-kecil nenek suka buat ketan sumbak ni bagi kita makan. Siap lomi kita hari ni. Selamat mencuba.
Onto the foreign front, Brazilian civil defense teams worked through the night, removing the remains of passengers on the plane that crashed near Sao Paulo, which saw all 61 people on board killed. At least 21 bodies had been recovered by Saturday morning, with 2 victims identified on site. Meanwhile, authorities are now working to determine what caused the plane to crash, stating that possession of the cockpit voice and flight data recorders was confirmed, and that analysis of the recordings would be carried out as quickly as possible. The aircraft, which was carrying 57 passengers and 4 crew, was bound for Sao Paulo from Cascavel when it came down in the town of Vigino on Friday. According to Flight Radar 24 data, the rapid descent began at 1:21 p.m. local time, reaching a maximum vertical speed of 24,000 feet per minute, nearly 10 times the normal rate of descent. Twin jailbreaks in Bangladesh have killed at least 12 inmates and freed hundreds more in the latest series of breakouts during weeks of nationwide unrest. According to Jamapur prison's warden, 6 convicts were killed on Thursday after prison guards were assaulted by escapees. He said the convicts used iron rods as they tried to break out and take all 600 prisoners with them, forcing guards to open fire. Fortunately, guards had managed to quell the attack before anyone escaped. Meanwhile, just 30 kilometers north of Dhaka, Kashimpur High Security Prison said another 6 prisoners were shot dead during a mass breakout. The inmates reportedly attacked guards and broke through the jail's main gate, and that at least 203 prisoners managed to escape. At the same time, Chief Justice Obaidul Hassan stepped down from his post as head of the judiciary body of Bangladesh in the face of protests by the anti-discrimination student movement. In the United Kingdom, more than a dozen people were jailed for inciting unrest on social media following the fatal stabbing of 3 children in Southport, England last month. A judge in Leeds jailed a 28-year-old man for 20 months after he admitted publishing posts that met the criminal threshold for stirring racial hatred. Local media then reported that another man from Leeds became the first person to be jailed for inciting racial hatred during the disorder. He had used Facebook to call for an attack on a hotel housing refugees and asylum seekers. So far, 118 people have now been jailed for their involvement in one of the worst unrests in the UK has seen in over a decade. Selangor clinches win over Kelantan. Sports when we come back.
TikTok Awards, realisasikan impianmu, didominasikan oleh The Raw.
Police happening in the raw, be proud, stand tall. Police happening in the raw, your confidence above all. Police happening in the raw, every drop transparency. Happening in the raw, the raw skin destiny.
Budak-budak ni sebenarnya originally dia orang tak dengar apa yang parents cakap.
Tahukah anda, Malaysia mempunyai kadar obesiti tertinggi dalam kalangan kanak-kanak di Asia Tenggara?
Faktor yang boleh diubah adalah seperti pemakanan.
Apakah diet terbaik untuk mencegah daripada bantut?
Sebagai ibu, kita kena pelbagaikan jenis makanan. Kita sendiri kena tunjukkan role model.
Cegah anak bantut dan obes, kami bincangkan dalam Hello Doktor. Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Wanita hebat cetus inspirasi, cipta kejayaan dengan usaha sendiri.
Orang hitam ni adalah satu objek di angkasa lepas yang mempunyai graviti yang sangat-sangat kuat. Diibaratkan sebenarnya galaksi itu kalau dalam skala kita sekarang ni dia ada belakang rumah kita je.
Fokus utama sukan water rafting ni adalah untuk nikmati keindahan alam semula jadi.
Masa kecil-kecil nenek suka buat ketan sumbak ni bagi kita makan. Siap lomi kita hari ni. Selamat mencuba.
Sports now, football, the Super League. Two matches took place on Saturday. Terengganu FC recorded a 2-0 win over KL City FC. At MBPJ Stadium, Selangor FC capitalised on their home advantage to secure a 2-0 victory over Kelantan Darul Naim FC. The first half was a tightly contested affair, with both teams creating chances but failing to convert them into goals. The breakthrough finally came 6 minutes after the hour mark when Ronnie Fernandez capitalised on a scramble in Kelantan's penalty area to score the opening goal. Ronnie then scored his second goal by converting a penalty, securing the win for the Red Giants. With the result, Selangor remains second in the standings with 16 points, while Kelantan sits at the bottom with only 3 points. Moving on to the 2024 Paris Olympics, misfortune struck national cyclist Dato' Azizul Hasni Awang in his 5th Games outing as he was disqualified from the Karen competition on Saturday. The 36-year-old Azizul and Frenchman Ryan Hilal were deemed to have moved too quickly before the journey left the track, and the jury decided to disqualify the Malaysian in the first round heat. It is a huge disappointment as Malaysians were hoping for Azizul to end the Olympics on a high note by making the podium for the 3rd time in a row. On to football action. Spain secured the gold medal in the men's tournament after substitute Sergio Camelo scored twice in extra time to earn a dramatic 5-3 win over hosts France in a nail-biting final. Enzo Milo put the home side on the score sheet first in the 11th minute before Spain's Fermin Lopez equalised 7 minutes later, finishing off a one-touch strike past keeper Julam Restes. Lopez then scored his second goal of the match in the 25th minute. And Spain continued to feed off that momentum as Alex Baena scored an stunning free kick just under the 30-minute mark to give Spain an impressive 3-1 lead. In the 79th minute, France's Magnès Akliuche redirected Michel Olise's free kick to make it 3-2 before Jean-Philippe Mateta coolly converted a penalty to level the score in the 93rd minute. Carmelo restored Spain's lead in the final minutes before sealing the win with his second goal to make it 5-3 at the death to earn Spain their first Olympic men's football title since 1992. 4 nabbed for attempted murder and cable theft. The details when Nightline returns.
Wanita hebat cetus inspirasi cipta kejayaan dengan usaha sendiri.
Orang hitam ni adalah satu objek di angkasa lepas yang mempunyai graviti yang sangat-sangat kuat. Diibaratkan sebenarnya galaksi itu kalau dalam skala kita sekarang ni dia ada belakang rumah kita je.
Fokus utama sukan water rafting ni adalah untuk nikmati keindahan alam semula jadi.
Masa kecil-kecil nenek suka buat ketan sumbak ni bagi kita makan. Siap lomi kita hari ni. Selamat mencuba.
Budak-budak ni sebenarnya originally dia orang tak dengar apa yang parents cakap.
Tahukah anda, Malaysia mempunyai kadar obesiti tertinggi dalam kalangan kanak-kanak di Asia Tenggara?
Faktor yang boleh diubah adalah seperti pemakanan.
Apakah diet terbaik untuk mencegah daripada bantut?
Sebagai ibu, kita kena pelbagaikan jenis makanan. Kita sendiri kena tunjukkan role model.
Cegah anak bantut dan obes kami bincangkan dalam Hello Doktor. Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Pencalonan baru Muzik 39 minggu ini. Pulangkan cintaku kepadamu. Ku mohon padanya. Siapakah yang bakal menjadi carta top 20 Muzik 39 minggu ini? Semuanya dalam Muzik 39 Ahad ini jam 12.20 tengah hari di TV3 dan stream secara langsung di aplikasi Tonton.
Welcome back. The police have detained 4 men for alleged attempted murder and cable theft in Balakong early on Saturday morning. According to Kajang District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Nazron Abdul Yusuf, 2 vehicles were being driven in an aggressive manner before one collided into a police vehicle on Jalan Pekan Batu 11. In the incident, 5 shots were fired at the tires of the suspect's vehicles as it was moving and ramming into the police car, attempting to injure the officers despite being ordered to stop. The police successfully arrested 4 suspects aged between 28 and 36 years old, and checks showed that they have criminal and drug-related offences. Equipment used for stealing cables were also found and were seized together with the 2 vehicles. No loss of life or injuries were reported in the incident. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for attempted murder and under Sections 379 and 511 for attempted cable theft, carrying a penalty of up to 7 years in prison, a fine, or both. The 14-year-old girl who was detained for impersonating a medical officer at Sultan Idris Shah Hospital in Serdang will be referred to a specialist hospital for a psychiatric evaluation soon. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan was quoted as saying that initial investigation found the girl's actions were due to a disturbed state of mind. Meanwhile, the girl was released on police bail after her remand period ended on Saturday while the investigation paper is being completed. During her arrest at the lobby of Sultan Idris Shah Hospital on Thursday, scrubs and a hospital lanyard were also seized by police. Initial investigations revealed that the suspect had breached the hospital's operating room claiming to be a doctor and offered to assist in performing surgeries. Sepang District Police Chief ACP Wan Kamarul Azwan Wan Yusof said during the questioning the teenager admitted to doing so to see if she could get faster medical treatment as a staff at the hospital. As Nightline draws to a close this time around, let's take a look at Europe's longest zip line, the zip line Stoderzinken in Austria, which took adrenaline seekers down the Alps at speeds of up to 115 kilometers per hour. With that, I'm Zahir Kelvinong Abdullah. Thank you for tuning in and take care.